Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Sakshi Money Mantra. Name Karunya Rao, and this is the last trading day 2023 Savacharam end avbotondi and ivala final trading session undedi. So let's understand ee ఏడాది పెద్ద హైలైట్స్ ఏముంటేవి మార్కెట్ లోని అండ్ వచ్చే ఏడాదిలో 2024 లో మీ పెట్టుబడులు మీరు ఎలా పెట్టుకోవాలో దాని గురించి మాట్లాడదాం. Joining us today is Raja Venkataraman from Neo Trader. Thank you so much, Raja, for taking time out and talking to our viewers today.
Yeah, thank you so much for the invitation, Karunya.
Raja, before we talk about individual questions that our viewers have sent us, I want to know about your reading of the market this year. Because this is a year which started very lackluster, very muted. The first quarter or so was a bit inactive, per se. But how do you think overall things played out and what lies ahead?
Yeah, so when you take a look at the entire year, the market has not been disappointing, which I should say, because all of us thought that it will be a muted year, and the second half of the year has been really fantastic, and where everything began till September, we were not so optimistic about the market, and from September onwards, the tides began to turn in favor of the bulls, and slowly and steadily with the mixed Q2 numbers that came in, and the possibility of the rate hike continuation also simmering down, and that helped the macros improving quite a bit. And with yes, the bond yields did hit a high, and that was towards the end of October, when things began scaring us that maybe the bullish regime is coming to an end. But then there was a turnaround, and the turnaround was very, very productive, and we saw a decent November. But then, the entire Nifty game, or the bullish movement, it got a very good tailwind when the elections happened. The state elections was the catalyst, I would say, in the entire rise which we have seen. And close to 2000 point rise in a month is something phenomenal. And I would continue to believe that we are not yet done with, and the macro numbers are getting better. We have already had a drop in the petrol and diesel prices, which is augmenting well for us, and also the kind of probably a simmering down of the weakness in the USD INR. All these things are helping us to project that the Q3 numbers which are going to come in the coming months is going to be something more beneficial, and it will continue to sustain this bullish momentum. So a lot of good work has been done by the external factors. Now the baton has been passed to the domestic environment, and I'm sure that the domestic environment will also start showing up some positive cues, and that will help us retain this bullish sentiment. And what another factor which is going to help the bullish momentum sustain is the movement in Bank Nifty. Nifty has definitely outperformed Bank Nifty. Bank Nifty is started performing, and I'm sure that in the coming days we are going to see Bank Nifty stepping up its game, and every pullback is going to be an opportunity for going long. So if the viewers are thinking that yes, if a correction is witnessed, it's a time to go short, I would like everyone to reform their thinking and revisit their thinking that it's not a time to go on the short side yet. Look for dips in the market as an opportunity to buy. That's the way you'll be able to make some money out of the current market moves.
Okay, very well put. Any big surprises or any specific charts, whether it's indices or individual stocks, which impressed you this year, which were quite the outliers?
Yeah, so as far as the outliers are concerned, I would definitely put my unexpected outliers on the IT pack. The IT pack has been something which, all of us have been used to the IT pack lying low. But the IT packs have really flared up quite a bit, and they continue to show that kind of promise. And especially the second tier IT stocks have really done well. And I continue to maintain that they will continue to, surprise us. And every dip in the big mid-tier IT stocks, not the large cap ones, the mid-tier one like say Coforge, LTIM, LTTS, Emphasis. These
Hmm.
are the names which one should be tracking. Be soft. So these are some names which I've been actively tracking, actively trading, and they have been able to produce some stellar moves. So if one needs to track, then IT pack would be one as a outlier and as a surprise one, and the other sector which has not really participated at all is the consumption sector. So
Hmm.
consumption sector, as we were all talking about the festive season in India, has been quite good. That's what we read on the papers and in the media. But they have not truly reflected on the price action. Now, the price action is stepping up. You can see the likes of Nestle, you can see McDowell moving up, you can see Titan moving up. And all these stocks are going to come into the foreplay now. And if one is looking at participating in some sector that has not moved, then I would definitely put my bet on FMCG, which can witness some buying, because that's the area where buying has not been witnessed much. And the third sector which I would like to focus on is the metals. Metals, after a long time, is coming out of its slumber zone, and
Hmm.
we can see SAIL moving up, we can see Hindalco moving up. So I continue to look at these three sectors as a play for the coming month.
Any hidden gems that are there in the market right now? Because you were suggesting buy on dips as a strategy for weeks and months to come from here on. So any stocks which have still a fair amount of room to grow or more steam left?
Yeah. So one stock I would like to recommend is Wokhard. So Wokhard has been catching the attention. Various groups have been discussing about the possibility of an upward traction in Wokhard. And yes, the stock has gone up 100 rupees, more than 100 rupees from its lows. But I continue to believe that the stock has got more room, and it could go all the way towards 750 within the next 6 months. So if somebody is looking at say maybe a 3 to 5 month play, then Wokhard would definitely be one counter which you should not forget. And a little bit pricier stock, but the stock has been doing post the consolidation quite well, is from the wires and cable space, which is KEI Industries. So
Hmm.
it's quoting it around 3200. But then the stock gives you a good return on the investment. And this stock has phases of consolidation, and it has been performing better than its peer Polycab. So if you are looking at this particular space, which with the kind of movement which we are seeing in the infrastructure and the engineering space, so the cables and other accessories will be definitely very very effective. So what we are seeing right now is that a lot of micro sectors are also developing. So
Hmm.
now what one has to do is shift their focus from just going behind the standard sectors, and also look at the other kind of sectors that are emerging, and especially dealing with, say, like railways is one which came up, paper sector which came up, then mining, which nobody were bothered to look at, came up. And in every sector, if there is a PSU play in that, so one should definitely look at that, because that's where the current government is giving some thrust, considering the
Hmm.
elections which are due the next year. So all this is favoring the PSU space, and if one has the capital and one has the patience, then these are the stocks that will move.
Should one also look at rural plays, considering it's going to be an election year? So whether it's microfinance lenders, whether it's agri stocks, fertilizers, chemicals, do you think those also could be looked at?
Yeah, so considering the overall development of the economy, so the microfinance play or the fertilizers are some sectors which will move. But then one has to play these sectors with a caveat that these are sectors which are driven by some particular news flow,
Hmm.
and the move in these sectors will be a short one. So current market demands that some part of your capital is allocated towards the long term plan. Say maybe the long term one really needs to define. One can't have a long term of 10 years. That's a personal choice. But then in today's day and age, we should look at a long-term play of say maybe 1 to 2 year, and a short-term play of maybe say 3 months,
Mm.
and keep building your capital base. That's what is important as far as the current outlook is concerned. Otherwise, one can just buy a stock and forget it. That style of trading and investing seems to have undergone a major shift in the last 10 years. So if one has to really keep on churning their capital and make money, so that's the way one has to move.
Okay, all right. Since you're talking about public sector enterprises, we have a question which is also similar to what you were saying. And Prem is asking us about PSU Banks. Any specific names that look attractive to you? Of course, they have, most of them, the big ones, have had a very strong up move this year. Any names that you would want to suggest which are still good bets at the current levels?
Yeah, so yes, one which has a bit runaway definitely is Canara Bank. But Canara Bank setup and the Canara Bank continued patronage by either the trading community or the investing community has been quite good. So I definitely favor Canara Bank as one of the better play PSU banks. And the other bank which I would like to favor is Bank of India, and that stock has been performing quite well. And if one has to invest into the PSU space, then these are the two banks which I would look at, contrary to the other larger names. So, of course, Canara Bank is amongst the larger names, and one is Bank of India. And from the private space, CSB, Catholic Syrian Bank, CSB Bank,
Mhm.
that bank has been doing exceptionally well, and it continues to show a lot of promise. So any dips in these banks? So a dip, I would, if I were to give a percentage, so I would expect at least a 7 to 8% correction would be a good time to add some funds into that particular stock. So that's how I consider a dip.
Okay. Since we're talking about financials and banking, what about insurers? Because they have been sort of left behind in the entire up move. And yes, they've had a few good days, but if we look at the larger picture for the last 1 year, they still continue to be quite sluggish.
Yeah, so the insurers unfortunately are regulated by the IRDI guidelines, and the recent IRDI guidelines of the survivor value which had they have come out with. So all that has now put water on the continued efforts to recover from lower levels. So yes, there are likes of SBI Life, HDFC Life. So insurance as a sector was a very nice sector that got created in our markets, but again they are also triggered by rules and regulations which keep coming in. And just like the pharma USFDA observations, they are having the IRDA observations that keep injecting or rather curbing their bullish enthusiasm. So this sector is going to have a lot of volatility. So if one doesn't want too much of volatility in that, it's more of a trading play rather than a investing play, is my opinion.
Okay, I want to circle back to PSUs. Vindhya is asking us about three of them actually: Hindustan Aeronautics, Union Bank, and Hindustan Copper. All three from very, very different sectors. But the one thing common is, of course, the fact that they all fall under the government basket, the PSU basket. Any of these names that look interesting?
Yeah, all of them seems interesting, and as long as the current government is supporting its initiative, and all these are notable names, and HL continues to generate a decent order book, so the prices are continuing to move higher. Hindustan Copper continues to attract a lot of trading activity. So overall, I feel that the momentum will continue to the upside in these names. It's just that we have to be ready for brief corrections. And when these corrections happen, that is the time to enter. Because if you're going to look at it from a trading play, that's not a problem. But if you're going to look at it from a investing play for the next few months, then one should look to add these stocks on correction, because at lower levels there are a lot of eager market participants waiting to enter in this stock. So this stock is not going to go down, rather it will rebound from lower levels.
Okay, all right. One more question I'm getting from Arsh, and this is on Bajaj Finance. Should he buy Bajaj Finance at the current level?
Yeah, what I have noticed is that in line with the consumption theme is the lenders. So we have not found much of traction emerging in these names, and largely because the consumption space itself did not revive. So as a result, one should not be looking at these stocks right now, and rather there are so many other sectors that are in play. So it's best that we divert our capital into the other sectors that we discussed in the last few minutes, because that would be a better play to generate some ROI on your capital invested.
Okay, all right. So just to, wrap it up, you've talked to us about a host of stocks, the sectors as well, which look interesting for the next year. What about the no-goes? Any word of caution as well going into the new year? Any sectors or kind of stocks that you want to tell our viewers to sort of stay away from?
Yeah, a very good question by you, because what the sector which I would like to totally avoid is the specialty chemical sector, because that sector, this entire year has passed, but still it has not seen its heydays. So briefly, especially in the month of December, we are seeing some uptick in that sector. Otherwise, that sector has never really been able to give up give a lot of momentum. I've been asked in every show about the specialty chemical, because when it was doing well, everyone invested very heavily into that sector. It was highly promoted by the government as well. But then what has happened right now is that because of other global cues as well, and also China stepping up, so the sector has not been able to generate that kind of momentum which it had earlier. So expecting a repeat of what happened 2 years ago is not something we should have as a strategy for investing. So I would wait and watch, and not better avoid this particular sector and look at the other ones which are constantly on the move and showing us some opportunity at every dip.
Okay, and any since we're talking about dip and since we're talking about cautiousness, what is the lower levels that you're looking at for benchmarks where where there could be some sort of resistance or some kind of
Yeah,
problematic
so
occurrence?
right. So at the outset, the Nifty is having levels of around 22,000, which is going to be a challenge at the moment. Yes, it looks very close, but then we have to realize that there are going to be a lot of upward resistances there. So 22,000 will be the immediate, very at a very, very short distance. And the dips are very, very far away. All right. And if I have to, forget about the entire bullish scenario, then it will be the lows which got created on the 21st of December. So which is around 21,000. So if 21,000 is given away, then I should really forget about the bullishness for some time, because a lot of hopes were revived when Nifty, quickly forgot that 20th of December. But then if the momentum is going to continue, then it has to break 22,000. Otherwise, we may slip into a range between 21,000 on the lower side, 22,000 on the upside, and it may spend some time. But if the breakout emerges, then the momentum can continue further. So that's how we are positioned. And on the upside, the targets which are getting set is further higher towards 22,500. But then before it reaches there, it has to first cross 22,000 for the coming month.
Well, yes, like you said, it seems so close, but yet is so far. But here's hoping that in the new year, we can make some new highs and reach new peaks. And thank you so much, Raja, for joining us. And from all of us at Sakshi, wishing you a very, very happy new year. Thank you for
Yeah.
talking to us.
Thank you, and wishing all your readers and viewers and yourself a very happy new year.
Thank you. And guys, tune in Navadanki chala chala thanks. And మీ అందరికీ కూడా కొత్త సంవత్సరానికి శుభాకాంక్షలు మా వైపు నుంచి. Thank you for joining.